UFC 315 is just around the corner. It's this weekend, and I'm here to give you my breakdown, picks and predictions, everything like that. A breakdown whenever the card's finished. Now, if you're new around here, I like to keep it passionate. I like to keep it passionate picks. I don't really gamble on these fights. I'm not your financial advisor. However, you can, be a degenerate wherever you want. I do that as well, so it is what it is. I'll throw a fiver here and there. Hey, we keep it honest, okay? I might be speedrunning this a little bit because I'm a little short on time here, but we'll get to the breakdown and picks here. So if I do bad on picks, I'll blame it on this time crunch I'm in, alright? But with that being said, let's get into the breakdown here for UFC Belal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maina at UFC 315. Not a bad card, I'll say that. Hey, name value, not a bad card. Fight value, yeah, there's some bangers. There's some snoozers, okay? But there's some bangers here. Now, let's get into the breakdown. Daniel Santos versus Zhang Yong Li. Which one is this? This is the one that beat Hyder Emil by KO. That was pretty impressive. Shit. Daniel Santos, what are we looking at here? Johnny Munoz. Okay, John Castaneda by KO. That's kind of impressive, even though Chris Gutierrez just knocked his ass down. Julio Arce. Ooh, I don't like that. Or, he lost to Hyder Emil by KO. Oh. Sorry, I just woke up, by the way, if you couldn't tell. But, okay. Blake Builder. You know what? The Blake Builder win is probably better than any of this guy's win. Blake Builder's, I know, is not that good, but he's a hard worker. And the fact that he was able to get a decision on Blake Builder, I respect that. If I remember correctly, he was, doing well everywhere, too. It wasn't like oh, this round is close, maybe, I think it was maybe a 29-28, could have been a 30-27, can't really remember that well. I just scrolled down by mistake. Fuck, I didn't mean to do that because I didn't want this to influence. I was going to go with Zhang Yong Li, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, getting KO'd by Hyder Emil isn't that great, but Hyder Emil is like a dense fucking brick-built dude, if I'm not mistaken, right? Hyder Emil. Didn't he just fight someone? Hyder Emil. Didn't this guy just fight someone? Yeah, William Gomez. That's a good win. I think he lost the fight, to be fair, but, that's a good win. That's a really good win. I'll be honest. So, I don't think he really loses any stock. Yeah, Okay, when he's in the cage, he looks like a fucking Michael Chandler at, what is this, 135? 145. No, it's gotta be 135. Yeah, it's gotta be 135, right? Bantamweight? Yeah. Just weird how listed at 145. Huh. Odd. Anyways. With that being said, I'm going to go with Zhang Yong Li here. And I think I'm going to go by... a decision. I think he'll just outwork Santos. Santos isn't dangerous, so I'm not really concerned about the chin of Zhang Yong Li. Is he an underdog? What are the odds? There are no odds? There's no odds, eh? Yeah. Shoot a box, Diego Lima. Yeah. Not really a fan of that. But yeah, he's not really that, okay, yeah, he KO'd John Castaneda. John Castaneda's been chinny in the past couple of fights. Yeah, it's just and then he lost his debut. A lot of fighters lose their debut. Yeah. I'm going to lean Zhang Yong Li by decision here. Just keeping it real. Yeah, if you're wondering what website I'm on Tapology, I use this shit to make my picks now because it's easier to keep track of. Now, moving on to the next fight. Yeah, I just think Zhang Yong Li looks better in his fights. I know he just lost, but his loss is better than that. Julio Arce. I got a debut jitters, whatever. Let me fix my hair real quick, boys. Let me get the dogs out. Anyways, yeah, I need to speed this up. Moving on, Modestas Bukauskas versus Jan Cutelaba. Jan Cutelaba, one of the most inconsistent fighters of all time. If you know, you know. But I just can't pick Jan Cutelaba. I want to pick Jan Cutelaba. I do. Modestas Bukauskas. Who did he just beat? Rafael Quiquera. Who's Rafael Quiquera? I don't remember. Near even, eh? What was the other one? Marcin Prachnio. Shit win, but, it's a win. Ibo Aslan. did well, but Ebo was like brain dead. I don't think Jan's gonna knock down Bukakis. But he lost to Vitor Petrino. This is the thing with unranked light heavyweights. They're almost as good as heavyweights. They're dog shit. They're so bad. I think I might vote. I might go Bukakis here by decision. He might get a finish, to be fair. I just think, like, Jan Kutalaba has so many red flags. Like, his striking defense isn't great. His grappling is okay if your opponent has never grappled before a day in his life. He does a lot of weird stuff to try to, like, up the ante, but all that weird stuff is normally, like, brain dead. You know? Like, he'll pretend he's wobbled, and then the ref waves it as a KO. You know? So, he'll go for, like, weird trips, not get them, and then just look like a clown on the ground sometimes, you know? But, yeah, the Ebo Aslan win was good. I'm not going to take that away from him. Ivan Ursine, Urslan, whatever the fuck. Yeah, I know I just saw the picks there. I think I'm going to go Bukakis. I think this is going to be a boring decision, boys. I'm not going to lie. Jan Kutalaba, I think, is tougher than a lot of people think. Bukakis isn't like this, like, one-hitter quitter guy. He's bigger. He's got the range advantage. I like that. Yeah, man. I mean, there's not really much else to really say. You know, Jan Kutalaba has been around for a while, you know. But, yeah, lost to Felipe Lin's decision. For context, Felipe Lins is a 45-year-old man. Okay? Just putting that out there, okay? During this fight, he was 45 years old. Kennedy Nzechukwu. He's a big dude, to be fair, right? But that's kind of what I mean here. I don't think Jan Kutalaba is so shit to get KO'd by Modestas Bukakis. Like, I think his chin's okay. Like, he gets wobbled. Like, when he actually gets wobbled and he's not faking it, he gets wobbled sometimes. But I don't think it's like, you know, it is like he's 1 HP mode and he needs some time to regenerate his shield. But it's not like, oh, I'm 1 HP, let me drop hands, go for a body shot, get slept like Ryan Loader last night. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Modestas Bukakis by decision. Moving on. Navajo Sterling versus Ivan Urslan. These aren't the same people, right? Oh, they are. Oh, they are. Okay, that's going to influence my pick here a little bit. I'm going with Navo Sterling. Showed up on short notice against an okay opponent last time. I'm going to try to remember before I look at the tail of the tape here. But he showed up against an opponent last showing. He looked fucking massive. He looked like Brian Battle up a weight class. Like, naturally. He kind of looks like built, you know? He looks better in this photo than he does in the octagon. That's what I'll say there. Yeah. He was big. He was cracking. He was doing well. He kind of knew what to do to get ahead. We've seen a lot of fighters not be able to do that. Cameron Smotherman, you know, after they have their debut. But I can trust Navajo Sterling to make a fight happen. I can't trust this Ivan Urslan guy. I'm leaning decision here, but let me just take a little peek at that tape here. You know, 6-0. Don't really care. It doesn't really matter. Oh, Tuco Tacos. Okay, wasn't the best opponent, guys. Okay, I'll take that back. Tuco Tacos. You know, Tuco Tacos. He's not bad, but a little too many tacos, if you know what I mean. No, but like Tacos, he's kind of just like a meme. Not because he is dog shit, but just because it's funny. Yeah, Ivan Sterling, he lost to Jan Kutalaba via decision. I thought he lost that fight. I'll keep it a buck there. Bogdan Guskov knocked his ass out. If you don't know who Bogdan Guskov is, alright? Oh, wait. Okay, I don't know who that Bogdan is. I thought it was Guskov for a second. I misread that. I'm fucking. I just woke up. Alright, guys. Yeah, Navajo Sterling's good. He trains at City Kickboxing, Israel Adesanya's gym. I hope he hasn't gained any of those tendencies from, you know, chin up. I'm gonna keep my chin up while walking away. Oh, nut shot. No, I'm gonna aura farm this real quick. I hope he doesn't keep that energy or the dog touching one. But I do think Navajo Sterling is a big, like, 6'4", 79. Bro, his reach is kind of insane. He's young. He's kind of untested, to be fair. You know, Felipe Ladu, who, yeah, these guys are just bums. But he made it to the UFC. I think he's going to do well. Ivan Ersling strikes me as, like, a fucking unranked bum who's going to go 50-50. You know, maybe the world's aligning, and this is supposed to be his win. Next coming up, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Damn, that was his debut against Jan Cutelaba. Disappointing. I think a lot of people are riding high on this guy. I think it's kind of over now. I'm going Navajo Sterling by decision. What do we got here? A lot of KOs here. That's interesting. Even though he couldn't finish Tuco Tacos, but oh, okay, Tapology people, sure. I get short notice, maybe. That could be a factor, but like, you know, 4 months after. I like this activity as well from a prospect. There's not enough prospects this year that want to keep their O. I hope Navajo Sterling will try to keep his O. That's all I can say there. Moving on. Jessica Andrade versus Yasmin Judavicius. Now, if you don't know, I have this really high-tech method that I do for my women's MMA fights. Some people, they like to use logic. Some people, they like to use some sort of pick doctor, you know, AI, whatever, right? I have this really high-tech method. Shout out to We Want Picks, you know, MMA Guru, everyone who does those sort of methods. I have this really high-tech pick I use called a coin flip, all right? And heads is the woman on the left, tails is the woman on the right, and we get tails. Oh boy. Who was that? Jasmine Judavicius. You know, she's Canadian? She's Canadian! Alright, she's Canadian, you know, she's older, she's got less high-level experience, but, you know, oh, she's from Ontario? Back, you know. You know, that Maiwa Breno Silva performance, yo. You know, people forget, man, Maiwa Breno Silva, she fought for the champion belt with Raquel Pennington. I fucking hate women's MMA, I just don't care enough. Yeah, Jasmine Judavicius, a woman. So she's going to win this by decision, 29-28 style. Moving on to Real Fighters. Ooh, here we go. Now we're cooking. I think this card's in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a little interesting. We're going to my country. You don't know I'm Canadian. I know. Hey, you don't need to say it, okay? You don't need to say it, okay? Whether you're American, from other parts of the country, or other parts of the world. I know where we stand in the world stage, alright? I don't need to hear it in the comments, but moving on, we have Mike Malott versus Charles Radke. I think Mike Malott sucks. I think Trevin Giles, if he had brain cells and did one jab each round, he won that fight 30-27. Because he didn't do one jab in each round, like one extra jab in each round, he ended up losing via 30-27. That's how close that fight was. Trevin Giles does not have a good chin. Mike Malott did not initiate the grappling. Could he initiate the grappling with Charles Radke? Sure. Is he okay at grappling? Sure. Figures that's what the Canadian prospect is good at. Just saying. Fucking goddamn it, you pissed me off. Representing my fucking country and you look that shit. People forget, man. Mike Malott's old, though. And, he's not really a young prospect. His best win is, what, Adam Fugit? I know he was whooping, what's his name? Neil Magny. A lot of respect for Magny. Magny's never been the same since Ian Gary, guys. Alright, I think, was that before? No, I think it was after Neil Magny, or after, the whooping that happened from Ian Gary that Mike Malott fought. I could be wrong there. I don't really care. Mike Malott sucks. I'm gonna go with Radke by KO. Radke throws hard. Radke's willing to get scrappy. I don't think Mike Malott has the finishing potential. To be honest with you, I think it's gonna be, I would say round 1, but Mike Malott might try, like, he might get wobbled and try to, like, survive, and he does set, like, a decent pace for the first 2 rounds. I'm gonna say round 3 KO by Radke. You know, I can see Mike Malott gassing out in the last round, being down 2 rounds, and just being, like, just straight up quitting. You know, I think we're gonna see Mike Malott completely quit in this. You know, we got, Canadian, yeah, 11-2. This is our quote-unquote best prospect. There's better ones, but this is our best prospect, guys. I'm not picking him, alright? He sucks ass, okay? Straight up, he sucks ass. Best win is Adam Fugit by sub. Like, are we serious? Like, Johan Linus. Like, just put the fries in the bag, little bro. What? He's an underdog? Hey. The degenerate gambling in me speaking. Yeah, I know Radke's not that young, but like he looks way better in his fights. I know he lost to Carlos Prates, and he looked like a victim in that fight. But his win over Matthew Semmelsberger was sick. Matthew Semmelsberger sucks. I don't know if Mike Malott beats Matthew Semmelsberger. I don't know. Mike Malott doesn't beat Carlos Prates. I know that for a fact. Gilbert Urbina, I just think Radke's able to like beat shit fighters. Like a fighter who's not ranked is a tough outing with Radke. I think you have to be ranked or ranked potential in order to like give Radke a run for his money. And he had a decent winning streak for a while. So I'm gonna go with Radke round 3 knockout. Yeah, wow. A lot of people riding high on Mike Malott for some dumb fucking reason. Alright. Niagara Top Team. Never heard of them. Yeah, I'm going with Radke by KO. Going against my country, because they suck ass. Yeah, moving on. Marc-Andre Barriault versus Bruno Silva. Now, I just said I'm going against my country. What sucks here is that Bruno Silva's on a heavy slide. So is Marc-Andre Barriault, but Marc-Andre Barriault never really got to, like... he never really... sort of had one of those memorable performances. Bruno Silva at least finished Brad Tavares, like he's never been finished before. I think that was the narrative. I'm really tempted to go Marc-Andre Barriault because Bruno Silva's fallen off a cliff. Yeah, I can't believe he's still around. A 4 losing streak. Brendan Allen, not like the worst loss. Shara Bullet, not the worst loss. He just looked brain dead in that fight. Chris Weidman, he did get 1-2 eye poked KO'd. I get it. Or 1-2 eye poke fucking bullshit decision. I get it. Yeah. That loss, his last loss, I think was pretty depressing to watch. But the problem with Marc-Andre... Okay, they're fighting to keep their job here. Who is more likely to go out? Man, Bruno Silva is so brain dead in his last fight. I get it, he got eye poked, but like, brother, come on. I don't want to see that quit in you. That's some Figgy type quit shit. You know what I mean? Chris Curtis, Joe Pyfer, like, these aren't like bad losses. Dustin Stoltzfus, I think, is underrated in terms of power. I'm gonna go with Marc-Andre Barriault. I might regret this because this is my country. I'm gonna go with Marc-Andre Barriault by decision. I think he's gonna be a little bit ahead. I think he'll get dropped in moments. When was that KO? 6 months ago? I don't like that because he did get flatlined. This is hard, man. I think I'm not gonna think too much about it. Yeah, by decision. That's what a lot of people are doing. Yeah. Yeah, I can just see him, like, losing a round via getting dropped, but being ahead everywhere else. Bruno Silva's never really been, like, that great guy to close rounds. And middleweights are shit, to be fair. But yeah, don't really care too much about this fight. I'm going Marc-Andre Barriault. I really hope we don't keep that record of every single man losing in Canada. I think the last time they went to Canada, it didn't happen, but I know the time before that it did. I think it was the Sean Strickland card. Sean Strickland versus DDP 1, where Sean Strickland got robbed. People forget, man. But, yeah, I just, yeah, I'll go with Marc-Andre Barriault. He really isn't too bad, to be fair. He does throw with power. Bruno Silva's how old? 35? Both of them are 35. Okay. I didn't know that. Bruno Silva's shorter, same reach. Yeah, I just think Marc-Andre Barriault's going to win this one. I just think it's, like, more likely. But I think the odds are fair. I think it's like a slight lead to Marc-Andre Barriault. I don't think it's going to be a whooping. I just think Bruno Silva's going to be down, like, 5 strikes in every round. But he'll win one of the rounds because he drops Mark pretty bad. Maybe we'll get a fun fight. Regardless, moving on. Brad Katana versus Begzat Almakhan. I'm going with Begzat Almakhan because Brad Katana sucks. I'll go by KO. Begzat did sleep Umar Nurmagomedov. Umar admitted he was out on his feet, and then as soon as he woke up, he dove for a takedown. So he got knocked out in that fight. So Begzat Almakhan technically knocked out Umar Nurmagomedov. People forget, man, because narratives get spun, but yeah, that did happen. He literally did flatline Umar. And if he doesn't get laid on, forever. And his grappling, to be fair, didn't even look that bad. Like, he was trying to go for positions. He was trying to get up. I think at one moment he did get up in that Umar fight. Brad Katana just sucks. He's a punching bag. You know? He relies on him being able to be tougher than you and outlanding you. You know? He does just suck. Yeah, he lost to Armfield. Who did he beat? Exactly. Gene Matsumoto. Yeah, that makes sense because Gene was a good prospect before I picked Rob Font to fraud check him. If you're looking for picks and predictions, feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You know, hey, only 2 negative cards for the year. Every other card, we've been up, boys. We're on a win streak right now. Don't know how many, but we're keeping that streak. So I do take my picks seriously here. Yeah, I'm going with Almacan. I just think Almacan's better. I think he's better everywhere, to be honest with you. Bro, younger, like, come on. And at the end of the day, Brad Katana's Canadian. People forget, man, Canadians have a debuff where they lose their... It's like, what's a good way to explain it? You know, like in Dark Souls 2, how when you die, you lose permanent HP? Yeah, not a fun mechanic. That's what a Canadian debuff is, you know? When they're flawless, they're great. Once they start losing, they're just losing more and more of their HP. So I think Katana's due for chinning here. Because he's been getting decisioned. I think he's due for chinning. He gets hit, man. He does get tagged pretty bad. You know, reach disadvantage and height disadvantage. Bexat Almacan, I think, is like Temu version of Peter Yan. I think he's gonna sleep him. Like, I think it's gonna be an easy sleep in either round 2 or 3. You know, I think he's gonna look really good. He sets a high pace. You know, he's got a lot of KOs under his belt, and I think after that performance against Umar, his stock should be like, he should be very confident. I know it was a long, yeah, year and 2 months off, eh? That's a long time. I think he's probably been working on his grappling, so that doesn't happen. Brad Katana could wet blanket this. I just don't see it. I think back to that, Almacan's going to find the shots. He's going to break the hands. He's got the reach. He's got, like, the height, you know? Brad Katana kind of relies on you to be, like, smaller than him. You know, you got to be, like, weaker somewhere than him. I don't think Bexat Almacan's that guy. So, yeah. Going with Almacan. Seems like a lot of people agree. Moving on. Jose Aldo versus Amin Zahabi. I respect Amin Zahabi. Literally our highest ranked Canadian, so... And, you know, you can tell he's Canadian via skin color, guys. You know, you can tell he's Canadian because, you know, just the way he looks, guys. I mean, that's a true Canadian right there. Am I right, guys? But he's chinny and he's old. I know Jose Aldo's old, but he's not chinny. Amin Zahabi does throw with heat. He couldn't finish his last opponent, who was... I can't remember. But I believe I actually picked Amin Zahabi in that fight. He did fraud check Javid Bashrat, but the Bashrat brothers suck ass. We learn that now. Jose Aldo, by KO. And I think it's going to be in round 1. I think Zahabi's going to get chinned pretty bad. It could happen in any round. I just can see Zahabi getting chinned very bad in round 1. After trying to, like, slip something really clean. He trains with Frost Zahabi, the guy who trained GSP. Nobody cares. Just for, like, context. Yeah, wow, that's insane. Robbed against Mario Batista. I thought Jose Aldo won that fight. He lost against Marab. That was his last loss. Amin Zahabi lost against a bum. He also doesn't fight, man. If he was more active, maybe. But Jose Aldo... Is this guy actually more active? 2 years? Okay, not technically. Not technically. But almost. They're almost as active as each other. But Jose Aldo fights champions. Amin Zahabi fights bums, except for his last 2. Pedro Munoz. A lot of people were riding Pedro Munoz. I picked Amin Zahabi. Javid Bashrat. I was picking Javid Bashrat. I'll keep it a buck there. Orochi Lang. It's a good win. Yeah, he does throw with heat, to be fair, for a 37-year-old man. I just think he's going to overthrow and get caught pretty bad. He does do the same shit over and over again. Like, he will just right hand, right hand, right hand. Dodge weave, right hand. You know? Where Jose Aldo's got combos. He's snappy. He's explosive. I know the birth certificate thing's weird, so maybe he's not actually 38. He could be, like, 55. He could be fucking 36. Like, I don't know, and I don't care. I just go based on how they fight. Like, age doesn't really matter too much to me. It's kind of like the It's the pressure of scoring, if you get what I mean, in terms of like how I sort of score fighters. You know. But yeah, I just think Jose Aldo's gonna be better literally everywhere. Ayman Sahabi would have to hold Jose Aldo against the fence and do really well doing it. I just can't see that happening. Similar height and everything. Not young. Doesn't really look like he's got like a crazy gas tank either. Yeah, I'm going with Jose Aldo by KO, man. A lot of decisions. People forget, man. Zahabi is 37 years old and Canadian. Yeah, moving on. Alexa Grasso, Natalia Silva. Don't really care. We'll use the tried and true method here. Coin flip time. Heads on the left, heads on the right. Okay. Coin might be cooking. Natalia Silva's going to win this via decision, 29-28. Alexa Grasso is coming off that loss to Valentina Shevchenko, the draw. She looks like shit in that loss. She beat Jessica Andrade, she beat Viviane Araújo, she beat Andrea Lee. This Natalia Silva girl, what a crazy woman. She's tall, she's smaller, more compact, younger. Yeah, don't care. Moving on. For fuck's sake. Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot. For fuck's sakes. Okay, we'll take that. We'll take it. I feel like I would have went with this regardless of the coin. Shevchenko is good. Arguably, I think she's probably, number 2 woman in the world for fighting, because Amanda Nunes, a Canadian, takes that first place. Just saying, hey, look at the GOAT list, okay? When you think of Canada, look at the GOAT list. That's all I'm saying. All right, brother? That's all I'm saying. All right, when you think I'm shitting on Canada. Regardless, I think Shevchenko's just really good. She can just Nurmagomedov, or she can put on like a masterclass striking performance. She can get dropped. But Manon Fiorot, she's got a nice win streak, don't get me wrong. Aaron Blanchfield, good. But, like, women suck. Like, they just do. Like, women are terrible at fighting. They just are. So, I would rather go with a battle-tested 37-year-old Valentina Shevchenko that's got nothing to lose. Really. I get it, she's champion now and everything, but I don't think she's, like, really got anything to really lose here. But yeah, I'm going to go with Shevchenko, probably decision. Yeah, I think Shevchenko needs someone like Kayla Harrison to beat her. I don't think Manon Fiorot is manly enough, unfortunately. The Russian women, the Kyrgyzstan women. I like my Russian women. Okay, I'm a fan of the little bit more masculine looking women. Okay, I'll say that. Just saying. Hey, Shevchenko, just saying, just saying. But moving on. I just don't really care that much to really put too much brain power into that. Moving on, Bilal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena. Now, this is unfortunate. Okay, this is very unfortunate. This is where the community is going to get divided. This is where we're going to see the crash outs. If JDM wins, you're going to see MMA Joey fucking lose his fucking mind. If you don't know who that is, don't look him up. Please, I'll save you the time. And if you see Bilal Muhammad win, ooh, get ready for that fucking MMA guru crash out. I'll be waiting for that, fans know, If you know, you know. But I want to go with Jack Della Maddalena. Don't get me wrong, alright? I don't think Bilal Muhammad's good. He doesn't finish people, except for Sean Brady, apparently. He's not very good. Okay. I don't think Bilal Muhammad's that good. Everything he landed on Leon Edwards to beat Leon Edwards, Leon never changed his defensive position. He looked like shit. I get that, right? Leon's been looking dog shit recently. Okay, guys. I just don't think Bilal Muhammad is that good. But the problem is, JDM was about to lose a decision to Gilbert Burns until Gilbert shot the most telegraphed takedown of all time and ate a flying knee, and it didn't even flatline Burns. And, as much as I want to root for JDM, and I'm going to be rooting for JDM, apparently I think dude's broke. He has to, he's got a fundraiser or something so that he can get the plane to this fight. Especially because Canada's so fucking expensive. And I don't mean that in like some sort of, oh, we're high class. No, we're just, our economy's fucked, okay? Don't come here. Do not come. Do not come, okay? Purely because of the economic crash, not because of other reasons, okay? But, yeah, I just think JDM's good. Striking. But his grappling sucks. I don't care how many clips I'm gonna see of him submitting Craig Jones and all these other, like, guys in grappling training sessions, okay? I don't give a fuck. That doesn't matter. What matters is how you fight in the UFC, you know? Bo Nickel, prime example of getting fraud checked. By, like, thinking he could be something. And I know people are going to be like, oh, he was always shit. No. Yeah, we knew he was shit. We just thought he could improve, you know? Alright? I'm going to go with Bilal Muhammad by decision. I don't think he's going to finish JDM. Especially because Gilbert Burns can't. I respect Gilbert Burns a lot. I picked him against JDM, I'll be honest. I just think JDM, he does have the power to knock out Bilal. Don't get me wrong. And Bilal has really bad 5th rounds. His 5th rounds, he looks like he's getting finished. If Leon Edwards threw like 3 more elbows, the fight would have been called. He would have been unconscious on the canvas. I'm not joking. You can go back and watch that fight for yourself. And the final round, the final like 10 seconds, if Leon Edwards just threw more elbows, like literally 3 or 4 elbows, they split open Bilal's face. If he just threw a little bit more, there would have been enough damage. The ref would have called the fight. But Leon just didn't have it in him. I think JDM's got it in him to finish Bilal in the 5th round. But I just don't like this for JDM. You know? A lot of things are going on in the background, being broke and everything. So I respect, like, this fight. And everything he's about to do. But it's just, I'm going to be rooting for him. You know, JDM came to get the money and put it in the bag and bounce. Or whatever he says, you know? He's a sick dude, to be fair. And his striking is really good. But I just think Bilal did say he's going to try to, like, outstrike JDM. This is the thing, man. Is Bilal going to be dumb enough at 37? 36? Okay. Volkanovski's age. Very different fighter. Funny how the life works, but is Bilal going to be dumb at 36 and genuinely try to strike with one of the best strikers in welterweight right now? He said he would, but like, is he the type to go back on his word? He is, to be fair. Ooh, this is tough. This is literally like, if Bilal stays on the feet, he loses. If Bilal shoots a takedown, JDM loses. That's kind of how this works. JDM's good though, man. Fuck. Why do they make me predict this shit, bro? Why do I have to be an MMA fan and predict this shit? God damn it. Same height. Bilal is on... Okay, an important thing to note. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Bilal is on, like, some sort of PED usage. I don't care what anyone says. He has massive spots on his back. The glow up was insane. I've done a video on it. Check out my channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell to get my content weekly. But it is just, like... He's blatantly on something. He's on roids, you know? Trains with Khabib. Hey. Usman Nurmagomedov? Are we just gonna forget? People forget, man. Usman Nurmagomedov popped for PEDs. And then somehow beats Paul Hughes. Just saying. Okay? Just saying, guys. You know, just saying here. You know, I think Bilal's probably got some of their secret sauce. Let me fix my hair so I don't look, you know, a little too soy. But, yeah, I'm going with JDM. I think JDM... No, sorry. I'm going with Bilal. I think Bilal's going to lay on JDM. I do. I think he's going to lay and pray. I think Bilal's going to get wobbled pretty bad in round 1. And it's like, oh my god, JDM's winning. We're going to see MMA Guru be like, yes, yes, I'm getting a main event right. Yeah, woo. And then round 2 hits, and Bilal shooting a takedown. And then round 3 hits, and Bilal shooting a takedown. And 4 and 5 hit, Bilal shoots a takedown. And JDM gets laid on. Like, yeah, I respect his win over Gilbert Burns, and I think he does deserve this title shot. Wow, both? Wow, that's interesting. But it is just like, he got laid on dominantly for 2 rounds. I think Bilal can push a better pace than Burns at this point in Burns' career. As sad as that sounds. And he does have that Marab style where striking is, like, not that great, and he'll strike to wrestle. But with Marab, I think it's a little bit different. I'd have to think about that more. But regardless, yeah, I just think Bilal wins. You know, as sad as it is, I think he just picks up Jack Della Maddalena. We're going to see him dunk Jack Della Maddalena probably in the second, third, fifth, and fourth and fifth. I think JDM's going to have a really, really good round 1, and I think he's going to be alive in round 5. He's going to be live in every round. But Bilal is just the dude to pick you up, dunk you, and lay on you. Get the back, hold you on the back. I don't think he's going to get a finish. I believe JDM's got a lot more. I can also just see JDM breaking in terms, like, not mentally in terms of he's quitting and he's going to get KO'd or some shit. I can just see JDM having Bilal on his back for 3 rounds and being like, man, fuck, I'm broke. After this fight, I'm not going to have the money to pay the bills, you know, blah, 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 right? I can see that going through his head while Bilal's riding the back. Because Bilal is boring and he will put his opponent to sleep in terms of just how boring he is. So I'm going to go with Bilal. I'm going to go with Bilal by decision. JDM's good. I respect JDM. I'm rooting for JDM. I hope JDM flatlines Bilal. I want nothing more than to see Bilal Muhammad flatline purely because he's a nut hugger. I'm not one of these people that wants it for any other reason. But, yeah. I'm going with Bilal Muhammad. I think he gets it done by decision. 5 rounds. Surviving JDM. Getting his ass whooped here and there, but winning a comfortable 3-2, 4-1 decision. Yeah, guys, and that's been my picks and predictions for UFC 315. So if you made it all the way to the end of the video, I want to thank you for watching, and as always, I hope you have, jawline check, a good day.